This is CBS 4 News. Coverage you can count on.
The weekend will be a scorcher. Temperatures are expected to top 100 degrees.
We could even break some records. Jennifer Zeppelin joins us live from our rooftop tonight. Jen, what does it look like?
Stay tuned for that. Back to you for now.
We'll see you in a bit. Thanks, Jen. A mother faces possible criminal charges tonight. She's accused of leaving a 9-month-old boy locked in a car in today's heat. Police say the mother left the baby in the car while she went into a King Soopers on West Evans Avenue. The boy was taken to a hospital and later released into the custody of social services. Police say the unidentified mother told them she forgot the boy was in the car.
The run-up is expected to push gas prices even higher.
A 17-year-old is behind bars tonight accused of sexually assaulting 2 teenage girls. Police hope prosecutors will charge Joden Van Rixoord as an adult. He's accused of attacking one girl at a swimming pool last summer, the other at a park last January. Investigators hope Van Rixoord's arrest will prompt any other possible victims to come forward. Beer pitchman Pete Kors appears at the Department of Motor Vehicles pleading his case to keep his driver's license. Kors was arrested in May on his way home from a wedding. He's accused of driving under the influence of alcohol. CBS 4's Raj Chauhan is live at the DMV in Lakewood. Raj, Kors ended up losing his license today.
For at least 3 months, Catherine. As for the DUI, that's up to a court to decide whether that's going to stick. Live in Lakewood, Raj Chauhan, CBS 4 News.
We'll stay tuned. Thanks, Raj. Once again, this was a DMV hearing today. Pete Kors will make his first court appearance on the DUI charge next Thursday.
A spokesman for Liberty told CBS 4 News the criticism does not warrant a comment.
A warning from Denver police officers tonight. If you're running late and you think you're going to make up the time on the highway, they'll be watching. But here's the catch. You may not see them. And they're catching a lot of people. The Denver Police Department writes about 400 tickets a month for road rage. 2 fires that have burned more than 60,000 acres are now just one giant blaze tonight.
Firefighters were very afraid those fires would merge, but they also find some reason for optimism tonight.
You're watching CBS 4 News. Coverage you can count on.
A former CIA operative says justice demands answers. That as she sues members of the Bush administration.
Valerie Plame filed a lawsuit yesterday against Vice President Dick Cheney, his former chief of staff Scooter Libby, and presidential advisor Karl Rove. Today, Plame said she filed the lawsuit accusing the men of trying to destroy her career. Her CIA cover was blown 2 years ago, and Plame says it's because her husband spoke out against the war in Iraq.
Few reckless individuals within the current administration betrayed that trust has been a grave disappointment to every patriotic American.
The White House won't comment on the lawsuit, but an attorney for Karl Rove says the allegations are, quote, utterly without merit. There's a tiny little pest causing big problems around the metro area. Bed bugs are crawling into the bedrooms of unsuspecting people. CBS 4's Carlin Tilley joins us live to explain how you get bed bugs and, more importantly, how you get rid of them. Carlin.
If you do determine that you do have bed bugs, you will likely need to get your carpets steam cleaned, and you will need to wash all of your sheets, your bedding, your draperies, and your clothing in hot water several times to get rid of the problem for good. Catherine, back to you.
Makes you want to go home and wash everything right now, Carlin.
It sure does.
Thank you very much, I think. Despite their appearance, bed bugs are not known to carry or spread any diseases.
You know, anybody watching in bed tonight just got up and moved to the couch.
Exactly.
Yeah. I'll be fine on the deck tonight.
Under the sheets.
Or go outside, because actually it feels pretty pleasant out there. I mean, if you can, find the water bottle, go to the mountains, find the pool, find the creeks. I don't care. Just stay cool.
Lots of water for sure.
Pets, too.
Yeah, really. And that's a big thing to keep in mind as well. Yes.
Thanks, Jennifer.
Plenty of water.
After spending nearly 11 years confined to a bed, one man just had to get out to the Denver Museum of Nature and Science today.
Bruce Monson has muscular dystrophy.
Well, Reggie Rivers joins us now, and the Rocks were hoping the break would end their slide.
I know, they've been looking for some good news. When these things jump off the line, the driver feels 6.5 Gs of force. When the chute opens at the end, he gets hit with 10 Gs. By comparison, astronauts in a space shuttle feel a measly 4 Gs. Can you believe
Everybody
that?
asks what's it like to go that fast, but it's really not how fast you go, it's how quick you get going that fast. The acceleration is a huge adrenaline rush.
Everybody talks about sport cars and how fast they can accelerate. We go 0 to 100 in 0.8 of a second. So try to put it in perspective that people can relate to, but there's really no good way to describe it. It's just incredible. Incredible adrenaline rush.
Wow. So what does that feel like?
I don't know, whiplash?
I remember you running 40s at Bronco Camp looked a little like that.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Thanks, Reggie.
Well, a family in North Carolina has a hole in the roof.
The family heard a noise, looked up, and saw the sky, coming up what they think might have caused the problem. Airplanes are a common sight over the Cobb house in North Carolina.
Thankfully, pieces falling off the planes is rare, but one did and hit the house. Boy, nice place. The Cobb family was sitting at home Wednesday night, heard a loud crash. Further investigation turned up a big chunk of metal that crashed through the roof right into the bathroom sink. The metal approximately 10 inches by 5 inches. Not exactly sure what it is. The FAA is investigating, as you pointed out. Let's hope it's not off the shuttle.
Exactly, and hopefully nobody got hurt.
Yeah, well.
Thanks for watching CBS 4 News.
The Late Show with Dave coming your way right now. Guests Anderson Cooper and John Witherspoon. Remember, we are always on at CBS4Denver.com.
Good night, everyone.
CBS 4 Katherine Blake has been investigating this dangerous online network. She joins us now. You found a lot of victims right here in Colorado.
Most of those victims had no idea what was going on until we called them. When I started reciting everything from their social security numbers to their mother's maiden names, many of them were literally stunned. But their disbelief turned to anger when they found out how much their financial information was going for in cyberspace. One victim tells us it's a total nightmare. Charles Martin's nightmare began with a call from Canada.
And it was somebody trying to buy a digital camera with my credit card number.
Somebody in Canada.
Yes, and they even had the guy's name.
The charges continued from Florida, Israel, and Andorra.
It's about $2,500 total on all the charges.
He thought it might be the work of a single thief until we showed him a piece of paper with his credit card number, security code, address, and phone number. You weren't aware that they were actually selling your information on the internet?
No, not until you contacted me was I aware how bad it was.
Martin isn't alone.
And we see 426 hackers are in this room right this very minute.
Dan Clements is the CEO of a company called Card Cops. He infiltrates the underground cyber world where people's personal information is being sold, then notifies banks and consumers.
If you have access to the online bank account, they will sell it from anywhere from 2% to 10% of the amount of money that's in your debit account.
Within minutes, he found Martin's information online and many more from Colorado.
That's just mind-boggling.
Laura Riedel is one of the most vulnerable victims. Not only do the thieves have her address and phone number, they also have her social security number, driver's license number, mother's maiden name, credit card number with PIN, bank account number, and bank routing number. Did you realize somebody had your bank routing number, your mother's maiden name?
No. Not at all.
And how does that make you feel?
Very violated.
We spend a lot of time investigating the crimes.
Agent Colin Reese specializes in computer crimes for the Colorado Bureau of Investigation. He tells me thieves can get your information as easily as looking over your shoulder while you're using your PIN. But usually it's much more sophisticated. Something like sending you a pop-up that says you need to update some software or remove a virus from your computer.
And that sounds great to people. Oh yeah, I want to do that. Click.
The minute you click, a hidden program starts recording your every keystroke and eventually sends it home.
Home is typically the bad guy. Okay, so that piece of software calls home, sends that information to the bad guy, and now your secret, private information is elsewhere.
It often ends up here in seedy chat rooms where the bad guys will sell access to your life savings.
I want them caught.
To protect yourself, investigators say think twice before clicking on unsolicited emails or pop-ups. Make sure you do not get directed to phony websites on the internet. You can buy insurance policies for identity theft. It can also help to install anti-spyware on your computer, but that is not 100% effective because cyber thieves are constantly working on ways to get around those programs.
How common do you think the problem is here in Colorado?
Well, unfortunately, our state ranks 5th in the nation for identity theft. It is so prevalent, the CBI is creating a new unit to launch in January called the Complex Fraud Unit. As many as 8 agents will concentrate specifically on identity theft crime.
Once you inhale, it hits you almost immediately.
After about a minute, I kind of started seeing things that weren't there.
People who have smoked it say it's a mind-altering experience.
I felt like I was in a video game. The colors were just, everything was flying past my head. Everything in your vision is just kind of going nuts.
Many don't know where they are or what they're doing.
My whole face went numb.
Started drooling.
And in Colorado, it's perfectly legal. Its official name is Salvia divinorum, also known as Magic Mint, Sally D, or Diviner Sage. When our undercover crew walked into the Headed West tobacco shop on South Broadway and asked about it, the clerk described it as the most intense 10 minutes of his life.
In my personal opinion, it's like taking acid and mushrooms and ecstasy and slamming a 40 and huffing a nitrous balloon all at the same time.
Over at Mixed Up Creations on East Colfax, we were told,
I couldn't help but slam my eyes shut and felt like I was stuck in the laserium at about 900 miles an hour. So, it was just like...
And at the headquarters on Marion Street, the sales pitch was...
completely retarded. It just makes you just lose your mind.
Technically, salvia is considered a plant. It's been used in spiritual ceremonies in Mexico for centuries.
Yeah, I felt safe knowing it's legal, and if it's legal, then it must not, be too horrible for you.
That is a really dangerous assumption to make.
Jeffrey Sweeten is the special agent in charge of the Denver division of the Drug Enforcement Agency.
In order to cause a human to hallucinate, you have to have a toxic substance.
Sweeten tells me salvia is under review with the DEA, but right now studies are still being done to see if it should be considered a controlled substance.
The people that use a substance prior to it being scheduled are really part of the research, whether they like it or not. So it's kind of a dangerous game. To a certain extent, you're the drug world's crash test dummy.
5 states have taken action on their own outlawing salvia, including Delaware, where a teenager committed suicide after experimenting with salvia and writing about it in his journals.
He killed himself with carbon monoxide.
With videos of salvia trips posted on the internet on YouTube.com, there is concern that its popularity is spreading, especially among young people. When we went back to Mixed Up Creations to interview this clerk, he downplayed the effects of salvia.
And it's just an all-natural herb. People use it as a relaxant.
So did the manager of the head shop.
It's about 5 to 10 minute little pleasure trip.
But as he showed us his supply, even he admits smoking salvia can be frightening.
Yes, it can be scary. I have seen people very scared from it.
And that's what the DEA wants people to think about before they decide to go and find out what everyone is talking about.
You really don't know what's going on. Everything's extremely distorted.
People out there using salvia divinorum right now and nothing happens to them, that's great. If they end up in the hospital tonight, they're part of the research.